We love you, be however you choose to be. Our love for you is not dependent upon your behavior. Our love for you is unconditional. And that's the way we want you to be. We want you to experience the deliciousness and the naturalness of loving in spite of what's going on.
There's two types of men for me. The ones are boring and the ones are exciting, right? So the boring ones are usually
There are
the
two
nice
types of men for you. The ones who are in alignment with all of the details that you put into your vortex, and those that aren't. But the question isn't about whether they're right or wrong. The question is whether you're in alignment with your vortex. So a better way of saying it is, there are two types of men for me. Those that I've taken the time to line up with what I really want about, and those that I've taken no time to line up with what I really want about, that just show up. There are space fillers and there are deliberate creators.
But the deliberate creators ones, the interesting ones, they're usually the bad guys. The nice ones are boring. Why is that?
All right, we're going to start at the very beginning. Are you refreshed? You create your own reality.
I'm the bad
and
one.
what you
Okay.
believe is the way it is for you. So everything you just said is true. We'd say it differently if you want it to be different, and we would convince ourselves there are powerfully aligned, beautiful men who are in perfect vibrational alignment with who they are, who understand that they live in an expansive universe, who are sifting through life experience and are coming to new conclusions, who are tuned into themselves, sensitive to their own emotions, and deliberate about guiding their thoughts, who are understanding that they can be or do or have anything. The planet is crawling with them.
I just have to be there, right?
But when you make statements like you just made, you don't have vibrational access to any of them. So you say, bad, boring, bad, boring, bad, boring, bad, boring, bad, boring. Tell a different story. And then line up with the story that you tell and watch what happens. And then you'll say, Abraham, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of beautiful men all standing outside my balcony.
Playing guitar.
However do I choose among them? How do I choose? Because I am afraid, we're speaking your vibration, I'm afraid that I will choose that one and miss that one. What if I choose the wrong one? What if I choose one that's a little more boring than he needs to be? Or what if I choose one who does not fulfill all that I want? And we say, you work the bugs out of it. You work it out before it gets there by creating your vibrational climate, you see. You start in a really general place. Before this gathering has come to a conclusion, it is our promise to you that we will have many, many discussions about the attracting of all things that are important to you. This is a basis of understanding. You can be or do or have anything that you choose. And we can feel that your desire is in a strong place. Your belief is in the process of catching up with it. And you know, don't you know? Do you know?
I know.
Do you know the way it feels when you say, what I want is hard to find? How does that feel? How does it feel when you say, what I want is rare and therefore hard to find? How does that feel? How does it feel when you say, what I want has already been identified by me, and Source is my placeholder on all of these magnificent details? And when I find a feeling, an impulse, I follow it. And with that impulse will come more information. Maybe what you're wanting is already completely created, is finalized for now, and is in your vortex. And maybe your work is just to find your way there. And when you do, we're going to talk a lot about, do you get how things move from that vibrational reality into your see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it reality. Do you understand how that is? Do you?
Kind of.
It's a steady accomplishment of a frequency on whatever the subject is that holds no resistance. And you can tell that you're on the subject because it feels like elation when you focus there, or it feels like satisfaction when you focus there. There's not doubt and worry and struggle and strain. There's no stress in this alignment. So as you let that be your dominant intention, accomplishing this climate, it's your point of attraction. It's this vibrational climate. It's how you feel. As you hold steady, steadier and steady, it takes about 30 days to really get the momentum of it going in order to consciously acknowledge that you've got it going. Once you accomplish this vibrational frequency where you've worked the bugs at it, you don't have a piece of resistance about that one or that subject or that subject or that subject, because you've cared about how you feel, and so you've said it better and said it better and said it better and said it better until it really feels good to you when you think about that, and it really feels good to you when you think about that, and it really feels good to you when you think about that. And sometimes new thoughts will come to you, new thoughts within this 30 days of alignment, not new thoughts, but new to the frequency that you now hold. Do you understand what we're saying? You ever listened to an Abraham recording from the 90s and realized that it was all there then? But you're in a different vibrational vantage place now. And so as you re-listen from your now, as you rethink, so something is introduced into your now vibration, and you feel it in your now. You can feel whether there are resistant bugs to work out or whether it's in perfect alignment. And so as you do that work, so that you've accomplished on this subject of importance to you, harmony with what's in your vortex, so that there's no vibrational variance between what you've created, what source has tended to, what law of attraction has gathered, what's there ready to manifest in your experience. There's no vibrational variance between that and where you are. So then, now, movement begins to happen. It begins to move into your experience. So how does that happen? You become the realizer, the realizer of it. You become the realizer of it. You become the manifester of it. You feel the frequency of it. You feel the impulse of it. It comes in the form of an idea. I think I'll go to this restaurant. I might meet someone. Oh, he's a hungry cat. You feel this impulse to go somewhere. You feel this emotion that comes to you. These manifestations start coming. And then rendezvous begin happening. Circumstances and events begin happening. And because you have deliberately tended to the frequency of it, because you've deliberately tended to the frequency of it, when the manifestations begin to be realized by you, you recognize them. You don't miss them. You recognize them. You bounce off of them. You add to the momentum of them until before you know it, wherever you're standing in relationship with anything you want, you're feeling at ease about it because you know that things are always working out for you. And you begin to understand, this is so what we want you to understand, that you really didn't want the direct route to all of those things that you think you want anyway, because there are so many pieces of what you think you want that you're going to find along your trail to it, you see. There's no manifestation that satisfies you for very long. Esther would say to Jerry, oh, that's a beautiful car. That's a beautiful car. I think you should buy that for me. I think it will make me happy for the afternoon. And so there's got to be more and more and more and more and more and more. It turns out that it is that gap between where you are and where you're going that is life as you are living it. And if you are moving in the direction, hear this, this is the secret to happiness that you've been looking for. If you are moving in the direction of your identified desires, you're happy in this moment. If you're moving in opposition to your identified desires, you are unhappy in this moment. So all you got to do is acknowledge, I can tell whether I'm happy or whether I'm not. Can you? Can you? Can you? Can you? Can you? Can't you feel it? You see? And so don't you want to meet up with someone and say, oh, did I ever have a wonderful time on my way to you? Looking for you has been the richest, most rewarding part of my life experience. I'm so glad that you didn't come to me that first day. I would have missed out on all of this wonderful experience. As Esther and Barbara and Mark and Scotty and Sandy were making their way from Texas here, David, they got to the Dallas airport, which was where their connection was, and their plane was delayed for a few hours. And no worries, it's a beautiful airport. In fact, Mark had just said, ooh, if you ever want to get stranded somewhere, this would be where. And Esther said, I know, look at this place. Every wonderful thing imaginable. Food and shopping everywhere around. Lovely seats, places to plug things in. It was really a beautiful place. And so then they found out that their flight was delayed. No problem. There's a wonderful lounge. Esther went up and gave them her American Express card, which allowed some of them in and paid for some to come in. And now they're in a place where the bar is open to them, the food is open to them. Sign up for a massage if you want one. Big, lovely chairs to sit in. They were so happy. They just sat around. Esther kept thinking, oh, it's going to be time to go soon. It was so nice being there. They were having such a lovely time. And then Esther is in, having this wonderful back rub. And meanwhile, the others are out around this table. And Esther comes out, and she can see by the look on their faces that something is up. She said, what? What? And they said, actually, our flight has been canceled until tomorrow. And Esther said, now what? Now what? Really, now what? Now what? What wonderful things does the universe have in store for us? Because we know these things for sure. Life is always working out for us. And since they had allowed enough leeway, there wasn't anything to worry about in preparation for you, it was easy to just relax into it and let the universe have its way with them. There is a Grand Hyatt in the Dallas airport, right outside security. They went there, they rode up the escalator, and found themselves in perhaps the most beautiful hotel that they've ever been in, with lovely rooms waiting for them. They opened their doors, and the shades went up, and the music came on, and the lights began to twinkle just right, and a restaurant with wonderful food.
No cats.
Esther knew you were waiting, but she wasn't eager to come to you. She knew that eventually they would all rendezvous and it would be perfect. But meanwhile, what a wonderful journey they're having on their way to a wonderful journey, that they're having on their way to a wonderful journey, that they're having on their way to a wonderful journey. Does it really matter where you are if this is a wonderful journey? Don't you want to stop feeling angst about not being over there and start loving where you are? Don't you want to look for the positive aspects of where you are? Don't you want to believe that the universe knows who you are, knows what you want, knows where what you want is, knows the path to it, and knows that the path to what you want is what you want? So it is so fun to say, it might be you, it might not be you, it might be you, it might not be you, it might be you, it might not be you, it might be you, it might not be you. But meanwhile, what a wonderful experience. What a wonderful exposure to life. Yeah?